Hello everyone, myself Chandni Vasi from Mahatma Gandhi Institute of Technical Education and Research Center, Navsari. Today we learn analytic function of complex function. So definition of analytic function. This function is also known as holomorphic function or regular function. A function is said to be analytic at a point if its derivative exists not only at that point but in some neighborhood of that point. Or a single valued function which is defined and differentiable at each point of a domain is said to be analytic in that domain. Next definition, singular point. A point where the function is not analytic is called a singular point. One example for finding a singular point, function is f of z equals to 2z upon z square plus 1. To finding a singular point, we have denominator equals to 0, then solve the denominator equals to 0 and finding the point, and these points are singular points. So we have here denominator is z square plus 1. So z square plus 1 equals to 0. So z square equals to minus 1. So z equals to plus or minus under root minus 1. But under root minus 1 is I. So we have z equals to plus or minus I. Therefore, the singular points are z equals to plus or minus I. In this way, we have find the singular points. Types of singularity. First type, isolated singularity. If a function f of z is analytic at some point in every neighbor of a point z0 except at z0 itself, then the point z0 is called an isolated singularity of f of z. Next, removable singularities. A function f of z is said to have a removable singularity at a point z0 of the domain of the function if the function is not analytic at z0 but can be made analytic by merely assigning a suitable value to the function at the point. This singularity is known as removable singularity. Now one theorem. Let f of z and g of z be analytic functions in some domain D, then number 1, f of z plus or minus g of z and f of z into g of z are analytic functions in D. Number 2, f of z by g of z is analytic in D except g of z equals to 0. Here if denominator is 0, then function is not defined. So the condition is g of z not equals to 0. Number 3, f of g of z and g of f of z are analytic functions in D. Now, necessary condition for f of z to be analytic, or it is also known as Cauchy-Riemann partial differential equation or CR equation. Statement is, if a function f of z equals to u of xy plus iv of xy is analytic at the point z equals to x plus iy, then the partial derivatives ux, uy, vx, vy means ux means del u by del x, uy means del u by del y, vx means del v by del x and vy means del v by del y should exist and satisfy the equations ux equals to vy and uy equals to minus vx. These equations are known as CR equations in Cartesian form. Now, proof of this statement. So here, let f of z be an analytic function at z. So we have its derivative. By definition, f dash z equals to, we can write limit delta z tends to 0, f of z plus delta z minus f of z upon delta z exists. So which is equals to delta z is x plus iy, delta z is delta x plus I delta y. And here we have function f of z is u plus iv. So we can write f of z plus delta z is u plus delta u plus iv plus delta v, and f of z is u plus iv. So put the value, limit delta z tends to 0. F of z plus delta z is u plus delta u plus iv plus delta v minus f of z is u plus iv upon delta z, because f of z equals to u plus iv. So here, if we simplify this, u plus delta u plus iv plus I delta v minus u minus iv. So u minus u cancel out, plus iv minus iv cancel out. So we have only delta u plus I delta v upon delta z. So limit delta z tends to 0, delta u plus I delta v upon delta z. The above limit exists along any path as delta z tends to 0. So consider the path along x-axis and consider the path along y-axis. So if we have along x-axis, so y equals to 0 and z equals to x. So delta z equals to delta x. Put the value in this equation. We have f dash z equals to limit delta z is delta x. So delta x tends to 0. Delta u plus I delta v upon delta z is delta x. Now we separate all the terms and give limit to all the terms. So limit delta x tends to 0, delta u by delta x plus I, limit delta x tends to 0, delta v by delta x. But we know that delta u by delta x, limit delta x tends to 0, delta u by delta x is del u by del x plus I, limit delta x tends to 0, delta v by delta x is del v by del x. It is known as partial derivative of u with respect to x and partial derivative of v with respect to x. So f dash z equals to del u by del x plus I del v by del x. This is our equation number 1. Now consider the next path. So consider the path along y-axis. Along y-axis, so we have x equals to 0, so z equals to iy. So delta z equals to I delta y. Now put this value in our equation. So f dash z equals to limit delta y tends to 0, delta u plus I delta v upon I delta y. Now again separate the term and give the limit. So limit delta y tends to 0. Here this term have delta u upon I delta y plus limit delta y tends to 0, I delta v by I delta y. So I cancel out, delta v by delta y, this is a real term. So limit delta y tends to 0, delta v by delta y we can write first. Now next term is delta u upon I delta y. So here in denominator we have I. So we multiply and divide by its conjugate. So I minus I we can multiply and divide. So I cancel out, and here I square equals to minus 1. So we have 1I minus I, limit delta y tends to 0, delta u by delta y. Now again limit delta y tends to 0, delta v by delta y is del v by del y, minus I, limit delta y tends to 0, delta u by delta y is del u by del y. So this is our equation number 2. Now from equation 1 and equation 2, we get two values of f dash z. So comparing both the value, we have del u by del x plus I del v by del x equals to del v by del y minus I del u by del y. Now comparing the real and imaginary part, we get real part is del u by del x equals to del v by del y, and imaginary part is del v by del x equals to minus del u by del y. So also we know that del u by del x we can write ux, and del v by del y we can write vy. So ux equals to vy, and del v by del x is vx, and del u by del y is uy. So uy equals to minus vx or vx equals to minus uy. This is our CR equations in Cartesian form. One note, in necessary condition we get, if function is analytic, then we have CR equations plus continuous partial derivatives. Now sufficient condition for f of z to be analytic. The continuous single valued function f of z is analytic in a domain D if the partial derivatives ux, vx, uy, vy exist. That means del u by del x, del v by del x, del u by del y, del v by del y exist and are continuous and satisfy the CR equations at each point of D. This is the statement of sufficient condition. Now proof of this statement. So let f of z equals to u plus iv be the single valued function such that ux, uy, vx, vy exist. Continuous and satisfy the CR equations. To prove that f of z is analytic, that is to prove that limit delta z tends to 0, f of z plus delta z minus f of z upon delta z exists. Here to prove this statement, we have using Taylor's theorem and neglecting second and higher order terms. We have f of z plus delta z equals to u of x plus delta x, y plus delta y plus I v in bracket x plus delta x, y plus delta y. So here the expansion of Taylor series is uxy plus del u by del x delta x plus del u by del y delta y plus I v of xy plus del v by del x delta x plus del v by del y delta y. Now separating the term, we have u of xy plus I v of xy plus del u by del x delta x and del v by del x delta x. So we have del u by del x plus I del v by del x and delta x is common. So we have in bracket del u by del x plus I del v by del x bracket complete delta x plus same way del u by del y plus I del v by del y and delta y common. So del u by del y plus I del v by del y delta y. Now we put CR equation. So here del u by del y is uy, but uy is minus vx. So we can here put the value minus vx plus I. Del v by del y is vy, vy is ux. So here we can write del u by del x. So our equation is f of z. U plus iv is f of z. So we can write f of z plus del u by del x plus I del v by del x delta x plus using CR equation we have del u by del y is minus del v by del x plus I. Del V by del Y is del U by del X delta Y. Now f of z plus del U by del X plus I del V by del X delta X plus here I common, so del U by del X, and here minus 1 upon I del V by del X. So we can write multiply and divide by its conjugate minus I. So we can get minus minus plus I del V by del X delta Y. So f of z plus delta z minus f of z equals to del U by del X plus I del V by del X and this delta X plus I delta Y, because I square equals to minus 1. Now here del U by del X plus I del V by del X, but delta X plus I delta Y is delta Z. So we can write delta Z, and if delta Z we can write here. So in denominator, f of z plus delta z minus f of z upon delta z equals to del U by del X plus I del V by del X. Now give a limit. So limit delta z tends to 0. F of z plus delta z minus f of z upon delta z equals to limit delta z tends to 0 del U by del X plus I del V by del X. But limit delta z tends to 0 del U by del X plus I del V by del X is ux plus I vx. So this is our f dash z equals to this limit delta z tends to 0 del U by del X is ux plus limit delta z tends to 0 del V by del X is vx. So f dash z equals to ux plus I vx exists as ux and vx exist. So we can say that f of z is analytic. Now one note number 1, in sufficient condition we get CR equations plus continuous partial derivatives implies function is analytic. Number 2, if f is analytic in a domain D, then U and V satisfy CR equations at all points in D. Now, note number 3, if f of z is analytic, then f dash z equals to del U by del X plus I del V by del X. So we can write ux plus I vx. Now, using CR equations, we can write this equation in different ways, like del U by del X, del V by del X is minus uy, so minus I del U by del Y. So ux minus I uy. Then next, del U by del X is ux equals to vy. So del V by del Y minus I del U by del Y is vy minus I uy. And next, del V by del Y minus uy is vx. So plus I del V by del X is vy plus I vx. Number 4, we can say that if function is analytic if and only if CR equations plus continuous partial derivatives. And in another way, CR equations plus continuous partial derivatives function is analytic. Now, example. Check whether the following functions are analytic or not at any point. So, to check the function is analytic or not, we have CR equations and we satisfy the CR equations, then given function is analytic everywhere. Now example number 1, f of z equals to z square. So here z equals to x plus iy. So we have z square equals to x plus iy whole square. So we can write f of z equals to z square, and this is x plus iy whole square. So simplify this, x square plus 2ixy plus I square y square. But I square equals to minus 1. So we have x square minus y square plus 2ixy. So separating real and imaginary part, we have x square minus y square plus I 2xy. So u equals to x square minus y square, v equals to 2xy. Now, we find partial derivative of u and v with respect to x and y. So first partial derivative of u with respect to x is here 2x, and partial derivative of u with respect to y is minus 2y. Here partial derivative of v with respect to x is 2y, x nu 1, and partial derivative of v with respect to y is 2x. Now we can say that ux equals to 2x equals to vy. So ux equals to vy and uy equals to minus 2y and is equals to minus vx, because vx equals to 2y. So we can say that ux equals to vy and uy equals to minus vx. So CR equations are satisfied. So given function z square is analytic everywhere. Now example number 2, f of z equals to e raised to z bar. Now we know that z equals to x plus iy, so z bar equals to x minus iy. So e raised to z bar is e raised to x minus iy. Now separating the term, so we can write it as e raised to x into e raised to minus iy. But we know that e raised to iy equals to cos y plus I sin y, and e raised to minus iy equals to cos y minus I sin y. So we can write e raised to x in bracket, e raised to minus iy is cos y minus I sin y. So e raised to x cos y minus I e raised to x sin y. So real part is e raised to x cos y, imaginary part is minus e raised to x sin y. So we have u equals to e raised to x cos y, v equals to minus e raised to x sin y. Now we find the partial derivatives of u and v with respect to x and y. So first we find ux. Ux is e raised to x cos y, uy is minus e raised to x sin y. Now we find Vx. Vx is minus e raised to x sin y, and Vy is minus e raised to x cos y. But here Ux is e raised to x cos y is not equals to Vy, because Vy equals to minus e raised to x cos y. So Ux not equals to Vy and uy equals to minus e raised to x sin y, and vx equals to minus e raised to x sin y. So uy is not equals to minus vx and ux is not equals to vy. So here CR equations are not satisfied. So given function f of z is not analytic anywhere. Next example number 3, f of z equals to argument of z. So here function is argument of z, but we know that argument z we can write as tan inverse y by x. But this is the real part, so imaginary part is 0i. So u plus iv. So we have u equals to tan inverse y by x and v equals to 0. Now we find all the derivatives of u and v with respect to x and y. So ux equals to tan inverse y by x. So derivative of u with respect to x is minus y upon x square plus y square, and uy is x upon x square plus y square, and vx equals to 0 and vy equals to 0 because v equals to 0. Now here we can directly say that ux is not equals to vy and uy is not equals to minus vx. So CR equations are not satisfied. So given function f of z is nowhere analytic. In next video lecture, we have to learn CR equations in polar form. Thank you.